Hey everyone. Now that we've taken a little time to learn about thinking like a professional, it's time to move on to building your project foundation. We're going to do this in two places, at the file level on your computer desktop and within the Premiere Pro interface itself. In this video lesson, we'll be taking care of the file level part by building a folder structure to neatly and easily store all of the creative assets that you'll be using to tell your first story. Be sure to pay close attention to the special name we use for each folder and to the keyboard shortcuts that are highlighted as well.
All right, my friends, welcome to another video lesson. In this lesson, we're going to be discussing how to build your basic file structure. Now, we're going to be doing this at the file level in the operating system outside of the editing software. And then we'll jump into Premiere and take care of creative asset organization there in the next video lesson. Okay, so we're going to be working on the desktop, and the first thing we're going to do is create a new folder. Now, there are a couple of ways to do this. You can right-click and choose New Folder, and that creates a new folder here. Or you can use a keyboard shortcut. On a Mac, that's Shift-Command-N. There we go, New Folder. And on Windows, that's Shift-Control-N. So we're going to click in here and rename this folder, and we're going to use the name template in all caps, underscore, and the year, 2023. All right, so now we'll open up this folder, double click, and we'll begin creating subfolders. So again, using my keyboard shortcut, Shift-Command-N or Shift-Control-N on PC, creating my first subfolder, and I'm going to call that in all caps, Docs, D-O-C-S. And that stands for documents. So this is where you might store scripts, informational sheets, PDFs, anything of a text-based nature that relates to your project. Now, I want to make sure I don't have Docs selected when I create my next folder, because if I do, it's going to create a folder inside Docs, and we don't want that. So if I do that again, you can see Untitled folder inside Docs, not good. So I'll delete that and make sure I have template 2023 selected when I create my next folder. And that's going to be called GFX. And that stands for graphics. Back over to template 2023. Next folder is going to be called Media. And this is where all your video files will live. Next, we have MX, and that is an industry standard abbreviation for music. Next subfolder will be outputs. And that is where we're going to store all the files that we output at the end of the creative process. Our finished products will live here. Next, I'm going to have the project folder, and that's where we're going to store our project files, Premiere, Photoshop, After Effects, etc. And then finally, we're going to have SFX. And that stands for sound effects. So now we've got 7 subfolders living inside of one parent folder, template 2023. Cool. And that is how you build the basic file structure at the operating system level for this course.
That does it for this video lesson, my friends. And now you're ready to move on to the knowledge check. Remember, you can always circle back and rewatch this lesson if you have any difficulty answering the questions. I'll see you again in the next video.